Dear students, today I am going to solve the questions, SBTE questions, especially related to time domain specifications or time response analysis. Especially we are going to solve the SBTE questions and multiple choice, so related to time response analysis, that is the sixth unit. Okay, here is the first question. If you see that the first question here I have written here. The first question with the feedback system, the transient response so decays rapidly, decays slowly, rises quickly. Okay, so we see here the first question is here, with the feedback system the transient response, what it decays rapidly, rise slowly, decays slowly, rise quickly. Okay, so when you connect a feedback to the closed loop system, so what happens to the transient response? So generally we connect feedback system to make a system stable, but this feedback will affect the transient response. You know what the transient response? Transient response means, so this is a transient response. Okay, so how this feedback is going to affect this? So when you connect the feedback to the system, you know that this is your system, your system. Okay, so if you're giving input signal and you get the output signal, so if you get satisfactory response, no problem. So when disturbance occur here, so what happen? Your system may not able to produce, okay, the response, okay, desired response. The output may not track the input. So for that we are going to introduce, okay, feedback. We are going to introduce the feedback. So this feedback will reduce the noise, but what happen? It decays rapidly the response. How means when you introduce the feedback into this closed loop, because of this feedback, okay, because of this feedback, what happened? This feedback actually introduces damping in the system. So this feedback introduces damping. This feedback introduces damping in the system. Okay, so this damping is the reason transient response to decrease. When you connect the feedback, what happen? So this feedback introduces a damping in the system. So because of this damping, transient response rapidly will decrease. So the answer is A. The first question. And one more I would like to tell you here. See, in the question paper, so from time response analysis, so this is, you know, that this is the sixth unit. So multiple choice, totally 8 marks multiple choice, and 4 marks question 1. Okay, so multiple choice, so 8 multiple choice questions they given out of 20, only from from 6th unit, that is time response analysis. Okay, you see, means it's a more nearly 40% of multiple choice questions are given from time response analysis. So first question is that answer is this one. Okay, we'll see the second question. The second question is, Second question means here the fourth question, the question paper mein is the fourth question. I will show you in the question paper. See, this is the fourth question. Sorry, it is sixth question. The sixth question. Okay. Sixth question. I'll show you a sixth question. Sixth question. Yeah, I got it. The sixth question you see here. The sixth question. If the input step response of a system is unit impulse function, then the transfer function of such system is, so that is A is equal to 1, or B is equal to 1 by S, or C is equal to S, or 1 by S. Just understand the question. What is saying? If the unit step response of a system is unit impulse function, then the transfer function of C of S, transfer function of such system. So you know the transfer function, okay? Transfer function is equal to C of S by R of S. C of S by R of S. We have to find it here. C of S by R of S, what it is, what it. Actually, what is saying here? So here saying the output. Here is saying the output C of t is equal to lambda t. C of t is equal to lambda t. It means it's a response of a system is a unit impulse function. Then C of S is equal to n. So when you apply L inverse this, so you will get 1. Okay, you already know R of S is equal to 1 by S. You already know R of S is equal to 1 by S. So what is the transfer function? C of S by R of S. What is C of S? C of S is equal to 1. R of S is equal to 1 by S. So answer is 1. So therefore, so transfer function is equal to S. So our answer is C. Your answer is C. So what is, again I will explain it. So if the unit step response of a system is a unit impulse function, so actually see the system response is a unit impulse function in time domain. So I have taken as a just apply the L inverse for this. When you apply the L inverse, whatever C of S is equal to, this is L inverse of lambda t is equal to 1. So I substituted C of S is equal to 1, R of S is equal to 1 by S. So you got S. The answer is yes. Okay. So next question we are going to see. The next question is 7th question. Next question. There are two questions here. Two questions I am going to explain you. Here the 7th and 8th. 7th question and the 8th question. Okay, I'll show you what is 7th and 8th question from this from the question paper. See, 7th and 8th questions. You see 7th question. 7th question. Damping in a control system is a function of what? Okay, so damping in a control system is a function of either gain or root gain or 1 by root gain or 1 by gain. So generally so gain is inversely proportional to damping ratio. Okay, so if gain increases, damping ratio, so this is inverse proportional. If damping ratio decreases, so what happened? This value increases. Okay, so from this we need a damping ratio. So damping ratio is equal to directly proportional to what? Gain. Inversely proportional to gain. This is the formula we have. So as per this, the D is the answer. So next question is a second order system. You see that here in SBT question paper. A second order system is said to be over damped if the damping ratio is what. So we already know there are four conditions. So suppose damping ratio is equal to 0. What is the response you get? You get your response is undamped response. Okay, if zeta greater than 0, less than 1, so your response is under damped response, under damped. If zeta is equal to 1, critically damped response. If zeta greater than 1, you will get over damped response. So a second order system is said to be over damped. When it is over damped? When zeta greater than 1. So here is the A is the answer. Okay. So next we will see another question. The next question is it's a ninth question. So it's a ninth question. So I will show you here in SBT question paper. The ninth question is here. A linear second order system with a transfer function g of s is equal to 49 by s square plus 16s plus 49 in initially at rest and is subjected to step input. The resonance of system will exhibit a peak overshoot of what? Okay, so what we have to find here, we have to find a maximum peak overshoot. So a linear second order system, linear second order system g of s is equal to 49 by s square plus 16s plus 49. So what is said, g of s is initially at rest and is subjected to step input. The response of the system will exhibit a peak overshoot. Okay, so initially at rest means when RFS is 0, system will not give any response. After that, what happen? It is subjected to step signal. When it is subjected to step signal, so what will be the maximum peak overshoot? Okay, you see that is a step signal. So you will get a response like this. You get it. So this is what? This is we studied. This is a maximum peak overshoot. You have to find this one only. So here what happened? Maximum peak overshoot they given 16%, okay, 9%, 0, okay, and 2%. Which one is? We have to find it. So how we are going to find this maximum peak overshoot? Okay, so they have given s square plus 16s plus 49. When you compare this standard equation, is what? G of s is equal to standard second order system omega n square by s square plus 16s plus 49. Okay, we know this. Okay, our objective is that we have to find a maximum peak overshoot. Okay, so from this equation, so you compare it. What is omega n square is equal to 49. So 2 zeta omega n is equal to how much? 16. 2 zeta omega n is equal to 16. Okay, that is 16. Okay, so then what is omega n? Omega n is equal to root 49. So it is a 9. Omega n is equal to 9 radians per second. Omega n. Okay, then 2 zeta omega n is equal to 16. So zeta omega n is equal to how much? It is 16 by 2. So you get 8. So you already know omega n is how much? 7. So zeta is equal to 8 by 7. It means you get 1 point something. Okay, more than 1 you will get, more than 1 you will get. Okay, more than 1 means if we just check the zeta values, so zeta is equal to 0, so whatever response you get zeta is equal to 0 means you get undamped response. So your zeta greater than 0, less than 1, you get this kind of critically underdamped response. When zeta is equal to 1, you will get critically damped. When zeta greater than 1, so you will get over damped. You will get over damped. Since your value is more than 1, it means your value is more than zeta value. Zeta is how much here? Greater than 1. It means zeta value is more than 1. Okay, it will go 1 something, you will get 1 point. So see, I will just here we can do it. 7 7 8 7 1 just 7. So how much you get? 1 is 0.0. 7 1 just 7. Again see, 7 into 4 28. So you get around 1.44 1.14 you will get. It means zeta value is greater than 1. It means your response is over damped. For this value you get over damped. You see here, when over damped means the maximum here is 0. Maximum peak overshoot MP is 0 in this case. So here there is no maximum peak overshoot. So it's only the response is sluggish when zeta is greater than 1. So what happened here? Maximum peak overshoot is 0. The percentage of maximum overshoot is 0. So the answer is this. Okay. So we will see another one, question. So that is 10th question. So in time domain, the question is, in time domain specification, the delay time in the time required for response to reach. So you already know very well. So from the response, so this is C of t. Okay, this is t. If I give a step signal, this is a step signal. So your response, is this one. So this one is the delay time. Delay time. So we said TD. It's 50% it is reached. This is a 1. So the answer is C. Okay. So I will show the question also in the question paper. 10th. The 10th question is, in time domain specification, the delay time in the time required for response to reach is a 50%. Okay. Then again 11th question, we see the 11th question here. For a second order system, if both the roots of the characteristic equation are real and distinct, then the value of damping ratio will be less than unity or equal to unity or equal to 0 or greater than 1. So we have to find it. So how will you find? So what is that? For a second order system, if both roots of the characteristic equation are real and distinct, then the value of damping ratio will be what? So when the roots are, see here, both roots of the characteristic equation are real and distinct. So when the roots are real and distinct, so what happen? So you will get overdamped response. It means your lambda value will be greater than 1. So we have seen that. So this is our response. Okay, when the roots are distinct, real and distinct, so it means, so when the roots are real and distinct, when zeta is greater than 1, so you will get this type of response. So zeta is greater than unity. So the answer is D. Okay, so we have studied in the first in the introduction in the second order systems. So when zeta is equal to 0, when zeta is equal to 0, so what happened? Roots are purely imaginary. Okay, when roots are complex, so you got underdamped response. So underdamped roots are complex and conjugate. When the roots are real and equal, so you will get so your poles real and equal, so somewhere like this equal. When the roots are real and unequal, so our zeta value is greater than 1. So this is a zeta is equal to 0, this is zeta greater than 0 less than 1, this is zeta greater than 1, this is zeta is equal to 1, this is greater than 1. So answer is D. Answer is D. Okay, so another last question. So this is 17th question. I will show you 17th question here in the SBTE. Our 17th question is, so you see the 17th question. Here is the 17th question. So the characteristic equation of closed loop system is given by S square plus 4s plus 16 is equal to 0. The undamped natural frequency in radians per second is what we have to find. Okay, so what is the characteristic equation? This is your characteristic equation. So what is the characteristic equation? S square, characteristic equation is S square plus 4s plus 16 is equal to 0. What you have to find? Undamped natural frequency. It means you have to find omega n. So by comparing standard equation, S square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus 16, omega n square is equal to 0. So here, so omega n square is equal to 16. Therefore omega n is equal to root 16 is equal to 4 radians per second. 4 radians per second. So the answer is C. Answer is C. So in the 4 marks question, in the question number 6 in SBTE, I will show you here. I'll show you this one. And the question I will show you. Yes, yeah. 4 marks. Define delay time, rise time, settling time, and steady state error. I have already given all these definitions. So if you just see here, so I will just see here. So this one. So I have already given all definitions. So delay time, this is a delay time TD, okay, and rise time, this is rise time, okay, TR we say, and next settling time means this is the settling time TS. So already given definitions. So and steady state error means this is a gap between output, it means a response signal, and input signal is called steady state error. So after reaching response, so it is settled. So this is steady state error. So that is steady state error. So I have given all the definitions. You can check it in my class. Thank you.